Max, just how would you assess tonight, getting that first start and how you played?
It's always tough to come out short. It's one of the harder feelings in football. Sometimes the ball goes your way, sometimes it doesn't, and unfortunately we didn't capitalize on getting down into the red zone and scoring points, and that's something we got to go back to the drawing board on and work together as a team, and use it as a learning lesson too. This is a preseason game where we can take what we did and learn and get better from it, and that's exactly what we're going to do.
Kind of in a similar situation to last week where you came out of halftime, you guys are trailing and you're out there trying to catch up. I guess, were there any lessons from last week that you took into tonight's game?
Yeah, it's a continuation of the mindset of just taking it one play at a time. You can't get it all back in 2 or 3 plays. Sometimes you may get lucky, but I thought the guys had amazing composure today. The huddle was a great atmosphere, and it's good to feel when you get in the huddle and everyone's super calm. And I felt again like this week was a similar feeling where people were confident, they're ready to play, and sometimes we just got to be as a unit a little more focused and challenging kind of uphill battles a little bit. And again, we're going to take it as a learning lesson and get ready for next time.
How about your work against the blitz on the touchdown?
Yeah, I thought the Titans did an amazing job with this guys during preseason and threw some stuff at us that maybe they showed last year during regular season and not during preseason, and they got us a couple times on it, and hats off to them for putting us in a tough situation a couple times. And but that's NFL defense for you. You're gonna get stuff that you don't see on film and stuff that you do, and you got to be able to react and play to the stuff that you see. And on that play with the touchdown, I thought Bryson was very, very decisive. Pro was awesome. They popped out 0, and which is not something they showed on film right away. And so Bryson did an amazing job getting to the right spot and making a guy miss the tackle and scoring. And protection was great, dude. That play was great all around. So it's a good feeling.
What was it like working with Wes as a play caller for you?
I'm a huge, huge fan of Wes. I'm his biggest fan, and I think he's just a very down-to-earth person and amazing guy to talk ball with, amazing guy to bounce ideas off with, and especially in game setting, it's like, hey, what do you like here? And, hey, we're going to go with this. What do you think? And I love that from his standpoint, and him having that trust in our offense to execute the plays that he calls. And we didn't just do base calls today. We did some challenging stuff today on offense, and the guys handled it great, and he trusts us to do it. And you can't thank him enough for kind of the trust he put in us throughout this preseason, and I thought he did an amazing job for these past couple weeks.
What did it feel like to know you were going to get the start tonight? How did you process through, playing, then come back in the game?
Yeah, we didn't quite know what the plan was up until game time, and I thought, mentally it was kind of challenging to know what exactly is going to be going on in the rotation, and I think it's a great practice to kind of go through that. As a quarterback in the NFL, there's going to be one guy that plays, and if you're not that guy, you don't really know when you're going to be called into the game. And today was a good example of, practicing staying warm on the sideline, practicing like, hey, this could be your next drive. And so I took that as a learning lesson, and, will be something that maybe I look back to and say that I went through kind of this preseason feel of that, and now will translate to my career.
What do the next few days kind of look like for you, knowing that roster cutdowns are coming on Tuesday?
We go back to the process. You got to go 1-0 every single day. It's about getting better as a person, getting better as a team, and gonna go check out the Minnesota State Fair. Very excited with that. Shout out Minnesota State Fair, best in the country. And I'm gonna bring some guys who haven't, been to Minnesota State Fair. The guys who are out of state a little bit, and that'll be good for us. Kind of get our minds off of it a little bit, and the rest isn't in our hands anymore. We put the whole team has put, as much as they can on tape throughout OTAs, throughout minicamp, OTAs, preseason. It's, at this point, we can't do anything about it. So it's an awkward time. I've talked to some older guys. It's an awkward time of the year, but you just try hard not to, get too caught up in it, and just, let things fall out as they fall out.
What's the best distraction at the Minnesota State Fair?
I'm excited for the corn on the cob. That was my favorite last year. Shout out Pronto dogs. Those are really good. Greg Johnson, my center from Minnesota, the Gophers, put me on that. Shout out Greg Johnson. I'm excited to find something new, too. I was only there for like an hour and a half last year. I'm going to spend like 4 hours there if I can, just eat as much food as possible. So I'll be excited to check that out.
Do you tell the teammates that are going to be first-timers what to expect, or you just let them go in cold?
So Miles, one of my favorite guys to have in the huddle, he's like over the moon excited for this because he's from Texas and he's been to the Texas State Fair, and I'm like, bro, you have no idea. And I have no idea what the Texas State Fair is like, but I'm like hyping it up. So hopefully he understands the hype when we get there. And we're going to bring Blake with us too, our equipment guy, to the Minnesota State Fair, and it'll be a lot of fun.
The quarterback position is full of pressure, obviously. Do you feel any added pressure at all to put yourself in the best position to make the team?
Yeah, I think the pressure talk is, if you have pressure, something's probably expected of you, or you expect it from yourself. And I think it's a good thing. I think the pressure, the cliche is that the pressure makes diamonds, and there's so much true about that statement, especially in athletics. It's like you're playing in a brand new stadium, that you haven't played in before in Tennessee, and you're playing in front of new fans, in front of new people, and it's easier to play at home when you're playing in front of the same people every week. And we have one of the best fan bases in the country. Now we're coming into a different territory, and you're kind of feeling maybe, all right, I have the expectation to go execute every single play to the best of my ability. But that's the mindset, is just go 1-0 on every play you can, and don't focus too far in the past or in the future. And usually that calms me down. I like to look at the logo on my chest and remind myself who I'm playing for, who I'm playing with, and that keeps me grounded. So it's been a lot of fun.